Welcome back, guys, to the Andrei podcast. New episode tonight. Today is going to be a reality check. I'm going to be alone. Many different topics. Let's start right at it. Okay, so United Trey on Twitter. This guy keeps talking trash about football on Twitter. Everything he says, I don't think I ever read one of his tweets and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. I don't know if he's fucking around or his footballing IQ is really low, but recently he said, aura is so important in football, man. Kane could score 1,000 goals a season and still not be a Ballon d'Or contender. First of all, aura is maybe for kids who watch social media, watch TikTok, whatever. Maybe for them, aura is important. But when it comes to people who vote for who's going to win the Ballon d'Or, older men who are in their 50s, 40s, and 60s, do you really think they care about aura when it comes to deciding who's the best player in Europe, who's the best player in the world? What the actual fuck? They don't give a fuck. They just want to see who's the best player. Now, you said Kane could score 1,000 goals a season and still not be a Ballon d'Or contender. That makes a lot of sense. Why? Football, if you want to be the best player in the world, you cannot simply score goals. You can be the best player in the world whilst also being the best goal scorer, aka Lionel Andres Messi. But to be the best player, you have to be the best playmaker. You have to be the best number 10. You have to be the best main playmaker of your team, and then the best playmaker in the world. You have to be the best player, not simply best goal scorer. You have to be the best player. Now, you can also be the best player and be the best goal scorer, and also the best player can be a number 9. Majority of the time, the best player is a number 10, offensive midfielder, or a creative winger. Most of the time, those are the best players in the world and on a team. It's not the number 9. It's not the striker of the team, although it can be the striker. Many instances it was. I'm talking about Ronald Araujo when he was at Inter Milan, wherever he was the best player, and he was number 9. Yes, that's a fact. Suarez, when he was at Liverpool, especially his last season at Liverpool, 2013, 2014, he was by far the best player in that team. I agree, and probably he was the best player in the Premier League. I agree. But for the majority of the time, the best player of the team, which then translates to the best player in the league, which then also translates to the best player in the world, is normally a number 10, an offensive midfielder, or a creative winger, which translates to a offensive midfielder on the wings. Like when Messi was a right winger at Barca, and when Neymar was a left winger at Barca or at PSG, their role was, yes, right winger, left winger, / attacking midfielder / creative player. That was their role. And if you look at the top 10 of all time, out of the top 10, 8 of those players are number 10s, are offensive midfielders, are creative wingers. If I think about the top 10 all time, let's go quickly. Messi, that's his position. Maradona, Ronaldinho, Pele, Johan Cruyff, Zinedine Zidane, Neymar Jr. Who else could be in the top 10? Whoever else. Ronaldo Fenomeno is there and he's a number 9. I agree. And Cristiano Ronaldo. So there's only 2 players in the top 10 who aren't a attacking midfielder / number 10 / creative winger on the wings, which also translates to an attacking midfielder. That's the nature of the sport. Just like as in American football, the best player and the GOAT will always be the quarterback. Why? Because he's the most important player on the team. He has the biggest impact in a team and on a game. Is the quarterback. And in American football, the equivalent of a quarterback in European football is the number 10, is an attacking midfielder. It is what it is. So that's why aura is maybe important in order to get followers on Instagram. That's where aura can play a part. I agree. But when it comes to winning a Ballon d'Or, which is journalists voting for who's the best player that season in the world, aura has nothing to do with it. Now, maybe a little bit. I mean, maybe aura, if it translates to charisma and just likability, being more likable by people, then of course some journalists can be more biased because they like you more. That's just human nature. It is what it is. Like the journalists who vote for the best player, for the Ballon d'Or, for the best player in the world, like it or not, they're human beings, right? They're not robots. So they have emotions. They have players that they prefer because of their personality, because of their charisma, because of maybe even how they look physically. So of course, everything plays a part, but not a big part. At the end of the day, the biggest part when it comes to who's going to be the best player, who's going to win the Ballon d'Or, is who plays the best football on the pitch. It is what it is. Okay, guys, so recently, Erling Haaland, bro, Congratulations, bro. Erling Haaland. I know in the past I talked so much trash regarding Erling Haaland. In my opinion, I was never unfair. I was always fair when it came to criticizing and having my opinion on Erling Haaland. I always said it how it is. He cannot create shit. His dribbling is average. His passing is average. His vision is average. His creativity is average. But when it comes to being a number 9, when it comes to scoring goals, that's world fucking class, man. Crazy. And just recently, he's the fastest Premier League player to reach 100 goals in the EPL with 111 games. That's almost 1 goal a game. In the Premier League, that's fucking crazy. So I want to say congratulations to Erling Haaland. That's crazy. Like I said, when it comes to scoring goals, he's one of the greatest goal scorers of all time. Even now he's only 25 years old, but being the fastest player to reach 100 Premier League goals in 111 games, the fastest player to reach 100 goals in the Premier League is Erling Haaland. That's a crazy record to break. He broke Alan Shearer's record with 124 games to reach 100 goals. He's first. That's crazy. Like I said, maybe some people can say that I hated on him. I didn't really hate on him. I just said it how it is. When it comes to creating plays, like if you were to put Erling Haaland as a number 10, he wouldn't do shit. If you were to put Erling Haaland on the left wing, he wouldn't do shit. If you were to put him on the right wing, maybe then he would do something because he's a lefty, so he could cut inside. But he would be average at best on the wings and as an offensive midfielder. But if you put him as a number 9, which, to be fair, that's his natural position, that is his position, he's a fucking animal. He's a beast, man. Yo, fastest player to score 100 Premier League goals of all time. That's a fucking crazy record. Shout out to Erling Haaland, man. Erling Haaland is now first to score, the fastest player to score 100 Premier League goals after 111 games. Second is Alan Shearer, who scored it after 124 games. Third is Harry Kane, who scored 100 goals after 141 games. Sergio Aguero is fourth to have scored 100 Premier League goals after 147 games. And fifth, which in my opinion is the greatest Premier League player of all time, Thierry Henry, scored 100 Premier League goals after 160 games. But this record that Erling Haaland broke is phenomenal, and shout out to him, man. Next topic. So officially, Leo Messi, the GOAT, becomes the player with the most assists in football history. First is Leo Messi with 405 assists. Second is Ferenc Puskás with 404 assists. And third is Pelé with 369 assists. Messi, the name speaks for itself. I don't really have to add anything. Greatest player of all time. Has the most assists. Probably going to finish his career with the most goals. The record with the most goals. Most dribbles accomplished. Just the best player when it comes to everything, man. What more do I have to add? The player with the most assists? Yeah, that's Messi. Makes sense. Greatest player of all time. Greatest passer of all time. Greatest assist maker of all time. No one makes better passes than Messi. You can make passes as good as Messi. There are some players. Ronaldinho was on Messi's level when it came to passes and making assists. Maradona was on his level. That's it. De Bruyne is amazing. When it comes to making assists and passes, De Bruyne, Modric, Iniesta, Xavi, amazing. They're still a level below Messi, Maradona, and Ronaldinho, which in my opinion, I said it so many fucking times, the 3 greatest players of all fucking time when it comes to footballing abilities. But Messi is the GOAT all around. Accomplishments, abilities, both of them put together, whatever, he's the GOAT. Next topic. So Lamine Yamal recently said, I considered to play for Morocco, yes. Deep down, I was thinking about playing with Morocco. At that time, Morocco had reached the World Cup semifinals. But in the moment of truth, I never doubted. With all the love and respect I have for Morocco, I always wanted to play in the Euro and in Europe. I understand Lamine Yamal, he's born in Spain, raised in Spain. His dad is Moroccan, and his mom is from Sub-Saharan Africa. I'm not sure which country in the Sub-Saharan African world. Not sure which country, but his dad is Moroccan. So, of course, he's going to have some emotional attachment to Morocco. His part of his origins are from Morocco, his dad. So, of course, he's going to have some love towards the country. He's going to have some sense of I feel like he's gonna feel like he is a part of that country, which he is. But if you think about it rationally and just purely business side, playing for Spain is way, way better and way, way more lucrative than to play for Morocco. The potential and everything he's going to win, he has way bigger chances of winning a lot with Spain than with Morocco. I mean, already just now, he already won the Euros with Spain and he just fucking started playing for Spain. And who knows what the future looks like for Spain. They have a really bright future. They're probably the biggest favorites to win the World Cup in 2026. They're going to be even better in the next Euros 2030. They're just going to get better and better. And they have such a young and good team that choosing Spain over Morocco makes a lot of fucking sense. And that the Euro tournament is a big, big tournament. And if you want to be amongst the GOATs, you have to play either in the Euro tournament or in Copa America. And also, if I might add, I mean, Lamine Yamal has Moroccan origins, yeah? He has Moroccan roots, his dad, right? But at the end of the day, Lamine Yamal is Spanish. He's born in Spain and he's raised in Spain. So he's more Spanish than he's Moroccan. Like, he's Spanish first and then he's Moroccan. He's basically Spanish with Moroccan ancestry. That's how it is. So, I mean, at the end of the day, him choosing Spain over Morocco makes a lot of fucking sense. I mean, it makes way more sense on both sides. Emotional and identity and cultural identity and business, winning trophies, legacy, and professional career. On both sides, it makes more sense for Lamine Yamal to choose Spain over Morocco. It makes way more sense that he chose Spain over Morocco. I understand some Moroccans being pissed because, of course, they want probably, which is right now the best player in the world, to play for them. That's going to make their country, their national team, way, way stronger on the pitch and way, way more chance of winning big tournaments. But still, put yourself in the position of Lamine Yamal. We would all do the same. We would all choose Spain over Morocco. He then went on to say, I believe European football is watched more and I think it's closer to the international high level. I mean, it's true that out of all these tournaments, which is not the World Cup, so the Euro, Copa America, AFCON, Asian Cup, whatever, the Euro is the best tournament after the World Cup when it comes to the international stage of footballing. The Euro is the best. Then you have Copa America and then the rest we don't really give a fuck because it's not really strong football. But I would probably say that AFCON, African Cup of Nations, is stronger and of better quality than Asian tournament, I guess. That I'm not sure how you call it. Asian Cup, I don't know, but no one watches it. He said, I believe European football is watched more and I think it's close to an international high level. And praise be to God, I did that. It also makes me closer World Cup with chances to win it. Like I said, with Spain, Lamine Yamal has big fucking chances of winning the World Cup. And if you're a professional soccer player and one of the best to ever play the game, you want to win a World Cup. If you're a professional soccer player, the biggest accomplishment is winning the World Cup. All professional players dream of winning the World Cup. Of course, there's the Champions League, there's the Ballon d'Or, there's the Europa Cup, whatever, you're winning the Euros, winning the Copa America. Nothing is equivalent to the beauty of winning the World Cup. It's not even close. Winning the World Cup is by far the biggest trophy and the biggest accomplishment you can have as a professional football player. And like I said, me personally, as a second-generation immigrant, I'm born and raised in Canada. And my roots, my parents, just like Lamine Yamal's parents, they're from another country. When it comes to generation of immigrants, we're the same. We're second-generation immigrants. And I can say it easily that I am born in Canada, raised in Canada. Of course, my parents are from Serbia. But at the end of the day, I'm more Canadian than Serbian. Why? Because I'm born here and I'm raised here. Of course, my roots, I'll always respect my roots, and everyone should always respect their roots and where their parents or grandparents or just previous generations come from. You should always respect your roots. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to be more Canadian than Serbian. It's just normal. It's part of where you're born and where you're raised. Especially, in my opinion, it's mostly where you're raised because that's where you lived that's where you learned how to live life. That's where you made friendships. That's where you met people. That's where you had your life experiences. That's where you had your first job. That's where you went to school. That's where everything happened, is where you were raised, right? And you know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? Of course, a household is the most important for raising a child. but it takes a village to raise a child. And like I said, always respect your roots, but also always respect the country that opened its arms to you and your family, giving you and your family a safer place to live, a place, a country, a society with more opportunities for you and your kids, for you and your parents. Safety, opportunities, everything. Always respect the country that opened its arms to you or your parents, or to you and your parents, and to your ancestors. Always have respect for both, for your roots and for the country that opened its arms to you. Lamine also went on to say, I respect Messi for what he was and for what he is for football. Football equals Messi. Messi is football. Football is Messi. If we met on the pitch that day, there will be mutual respect. He's the best in history. Thank you for clarifying, for saying what we all already knew, that Messi is the GOAT. He's by far the greatest player of all time. Deep down, everyone knows that Messi is the greatest player of all time. I feel like even Ronaldo fans who don't want to admit it and who don't want to say that Messi is the greatest of all time, I feel like even deep down, they know that he's the GOAT and that he's the greatest. They just feel like, I guess they just don't want to accept the fact, or maybe they've accepted the fact, but they don't want to give others the pleasure. They don't want to give Messi fans the pleasure of hearing him saying that Messi is the GOAT after all these years of competition. Although in my opinion, there's never been competition between Messi and Ronaldo. It's never been a debate, just like Jamie Carragher said many times. It's never been a debate. In my opinion, I agree. But so thank you, Lamine, for clarifying what we already knew. He said if we met on that pitch, there will be mutual respect, of course. But again, Messi accomplished. Lamine Yamal, you know how much I respect you, how much I value highly as a football player. Your skill set, your talent, your potential is out of this world. But you're still not Messi. You still didn't accomplish everything Messi accomplished. You still didn't prove yourself as much as Messi did. And you still didn't do as much as Messi did for the sport. So mutual respect, yes. But you have to show more respect to Messi than Messi has to show respect to you. He's older than you. And he's the greatest player of all time, and he accomplished way more, and he proved himself way more than you did. I'm not saying in my opinion, you're not going to accomplish as much as Messi did. In my opinion, Lamine Yamal is not going to accomplish as much as Messi did. He is going to have a crazy career if he keeps going the way he's going. He is going to end up as one of the greatest players of all time. Top 15, top 20, in my opinion, he has that potential. Top 10, he has the potential to be top 10 of all time if he puts in a lot of work and he doesn't fuck around and everything goes, knock on wood, correctly according to plan. He has potential to be top 10. But in my opinion, he doesn't have potential to be top 3 of all time, which is, in my opinion, Maradona, Messi, and Ronaldinho. He doesn't have the same talent and the same potential as Messi, Maradona, and Ronaldinho did on the pitch. He doesn't have the same footballing abilities as those 3 players, in my opinion. So that's why, in my opinion, Lamine Yamal can be one of the greatest of all time, but not the greatest of all time. In my opinion, Messi is the greatest of all time, and no one's ever going to dethrone Messi. In my opinion, you cannot dethrone Messi because on the pitch, he's perfect. And he accomplished literally everything you have to accomplish in the footballing world. So, there's nothing more you can ask for him. He has literally a perfect career. Like when it comes to Maradona and Ronaldinho, someone can easily say, you know what? Yes, as a player, when it comes to footballing abilities, they're perfect. They're at the highest level you can be. But they didn't accomplish as much, and they didn't accomplish everything a football player could accomplish. So that's where they get nerfed in the GOAT argument. But Messi, there is literally nowhere you can nerf Messi in the GOAT argument. Literally nowhere. On nothing can you nerf Messi when it comes to the GOAT argument. Nothing. So that's why, in my opinion, no one's ever going to dethrone Messi, and Messi is going to be the GOAT for the rest of footballing history. Next topic. Lamine Yamal said, yes, we can win the World Cup. I am confident. I agree. Spain have high chances of winning the World Cup. If I'm being honest, Spain, Argentina, France are the 3 favorites for the World Cup. They're both number 1 as favorites. And then after that, you have England and Brazil. With Germany, I would put Germany, yeah, like it or not, they have amazing players. Germany, so those teams have the most chances of winning the World Cup. Next topic. Someone asked on 60 Minutes, I'm not sure what the reporter's name, the journalist's name is, but he asked Lamine Yamal, what is your superpower? And Lamine Yamal said, I would like to be able to change people's day. If someone is sad and comes to the match, watches me, their day improves, and they go back home happier than they were. Football is so beautiful, man. Football can change literally anyone's mood. If you're a real big football fan, you're a real football fan, you know how much a game can change your mood. The World Cup 2022 final. If Messi would have lost that game and Argentina would have lost to France in the final, me personally, Andrei, I would have had a 2-year-long depression. Like a real clinical depression, 2-year-long clinical depression. And I'm not fucking around. I'm not joking. This is not hyperbole. This is me speaking honestly and me being vulnerable in front of the camera. If Messi and Argentina would have lost the final against France in the 2022 World Cup, Andrei Delic, would have had a 2-year-long clinical depression state. 2-year-long easily from 2022, 18th of December, all up until 2024, 18th of December. Easily, without hesitation, without debate. But since Messi and Argentina won, I had a 2-year, even now, I mean, we're still in 2025 and I'm still bashing Ronaldo and talking highly about Messi because that gave me that extra hype. So you see how football, if you're a real football lover, a real football fan, you're really passionate about the sport, you know how much a football game, a footballing event can literally change your mood and your day, your week, your month, and even your fucking year, and even your life. You know how many lives have been changed in Argentina when Messi won the World Cup with Argentina recently? Well, many lives have been changed emotionally and spiritually. That is the power of football. That's why football is so global, and that's why football is one of the most popular and one of the most sought after things in the world, man. Next topic. Lamine Yamal said, I am not a player who goes to the pitch and says, I want to score 10 goals today. Thank you, because that's the right mentality to have. You don't want to be a player who only thinks about scoring goals, like Cristiano Ronaldo, who only thinks about scoring goals. Football, we don't care about stats. It's all about eye test. Football is a sport where eye test matters the most. That's what matters the most. He said, instead I say, I want to enjoy myself. I want to do what I learned yesterday. I want to do what I used to do in the park before. I want people to enjoy. That's Brazilian mentality. Ronaldinho had that mentality. Neymar had that mentality. I'm pretty sure even Messi had. Now, Messi had more the mentality of, what's the most effective thing to do right now, this play? I'm going to do it. Messi is by far the most effective player on planet Earth. Everything he does is the best choice and the most effective choice for that specific scenario, for that specific play. That's Leo Messi. That's the genius of Leo Messi. Never did he take an extra touch. Messi never had an extra touch. He never... Everything Messi ever did on the pitch, every pass he ever made, every dribble he ever completed, every shot he ever took, every attempt he ever did was always the best and most logical thing to do for that specific scenario, for that specific play on the pitch. That's Leo Messi. And then Lamine Yamal went on to say, of course, if I score a lot of goals, that's better. But football goes beyond that. And if I might add, it goes way beyond that. Like I said, football is all about eye test. Who scores a goal? No one gives a fuck. If you want to be the best player, you have to be the best player. And to know who's the best player, the only way you can know who's the best player is by watching a football game, is by watching the player. Simply looking at stats, you cannot see who's the best player. This is not baseball. This is not basketball with their triple doubles or whatever. This is European football. This is soccer. Next topic. Ronald Araujo. Yo, Araujo, man, you've been fucking a lot since you joined Barcelona, man. You've been fucking a lot recently, man. You've been fucking up a lot recently. Araujo has asked the club to give him time to recover mentally and psychologically from the intense pressure he's going through. The club agreed immediately because they believe their priority is to restore the player's mental and psychological clarity. All resources have been allocated to support him. The request has no specific end date because in such cases, it's impossible to set a return date. Araujo, you've been fucking up a lot recently. From what you showed us recently, you're not up to Barca's level. You're not good enough to play for Barcelona. I don't want to be mean. I understand you're going through immense pressure, intense pressure. You have to recover mentally. I understand. But if we look at it rationally, you're not good enough to play for Barca. At least from what I saw in the recent matches and recent performances. You're not good enough. You fucked up a lot. I understand that you have intense pressure playing for Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the world, on the biggest footballing stage in the world. Of course, there's intense pressure. I understand that, and I agree. But you need to learn how to deal with that pressure. If you can't, someone else is going to take your position, and someone else is going to take your position, and someone else is going to learn how to deal with that pressure. Broski, you're not 12 years old playing kindergarten football or playing fucking Sunday League Park at the age of 12. You're making millions of dollars to play football. Of course, you're going to have immense, intense pressure. Of course, that's the bare minimum. But you're making millions of fucking dollars. You're playing on the biggest stage. And if I'm being honest, the pressure you have is not even close to the pressure a doctor has, a nurse has, a surgeon has, a police officer has, a firefighter has, and many other first responders, a soldier who's in war has. Your pressure is not even close to their pressure, not even close. Like, you know how much I love football, guys, but it's a sport. Football is a sport. It's a game to have fun. That's the point of playing soccer, is to have fun. Yes, you're making millions, and plus, on top of that, you're making millions of dollars. You're probably fucking the hottest woman that exists in Barcelona or in Spain or just simply in the world. Like, I understand the pressure of playing for one of the biggest teams in the world on the biggest stage, week in, week out. I understand that pressure. But what about the people who have way bigger pressure than you, have way more pressure than you? Firefighters, police officers, surgeons, doctors, nurses, soldiers, whatever, and they make pennies to the dollar for what you make. If you make $1 million, they make $1,000. That's the difference between you and them, and your pressure is way smaller than their pressure. Them, it's literally life or death. They can literally die any day. Or for doctors and nurses, their patients can literally die any day. And sometimes the life of the patient is in their hands. Know what kind of fucking pressure that is? They have the life of a dad on their hands. They have the life of a mom on their hands. They have the life of someone's child on their hands. You know what type of pressure that is? That's real pressure. Playing football, yes, at your level, at your stage, crazy pressure, intense pressure. But it still remains a sport. You're not gonna die from it. I mean, you can basically, but you know what I mean. You're not gonna die from it. The world's not gonna stop. No one's kid is gonna die if you play badly. No one's parents are gonna die if you play badly, if you perform badly. Because if that was the case, many people would be dead right now because of how badly you're playing. But yes, you have pressure, but you're still making millions of dollars and you're living the life, the dream of many players. Yes, at the end of the day, you deserve that dream because you worked really hard to get where you are and to accomplish what you accomplished and to get in the position that you are. So you deserve it. So I'm not saying anything there, but still, the pressure you have and the stress that you have is not even close to many other people. Lamine Yamal recently also said, "I do not want to be the new Messi. I want to follow my own path." I agree. You cannot be someone else. Live your life to the fullest. Your goal on planet Earth is to live your life, to accomplish your dreams, and to fulfill your destiny. You cannot follow someone else's footsteps because we're all unique and we all have a different path to glory and a different path to accomplishing all of our dreams and to accomplishing and to fulfilling our destiny. We all have a different path since we're all different. So of course, people telling him that he's a new Messi, he cannot be the new Messi. No one can be the new Messi. Lamine Yamal can only be Lamine Yamal. Kaká could only be Kaká. Steven Gerrard could only be Gerrard. Neymar could only be Neymar. Ronaldo could only be Ronaldo. Harry Kane can only be Harry Kane. And Messi can only be Messi. I can only be myself. You can only be yourself. That's life. So this is a good mentality to have. Not wanting to follow into someone's footsteps. You can learn from him. Analyze what he did. Maybe learn something. But at the end of the day, only you can live your life. And only you can literally live your life. Lamine Yamal also said, I will always carry love for the Morocco. as it is my country too. And I grew up in Spain, and I also feel that it is my country. I already talked about this. Let's skip it. Lamine once said, the only moment where I felt fear was when I had to meet my mother after the summer holidays. Yo, no matter who you become, and no matter what you accomplish, and who you become, and no matter how much successful you become, your parents will always be your parents. Your mom will always see you as her child. Your dad will always see you as his son. You'll always be the kid of your parents. No matter how much famous you become, no matter how much you accomplish, no matter what your status becomes, no matter who you become, you're always going to be your parents' child. Always, and they're always going to see you as their child. And if I might add, talking about parents and you always being your parents' child, don't ever, this has nothing to do with football, just life in general, don't ever disrespect your parents. I see so many people in so many circumstances disrespecting their parents for whatever reason, XY reasons. And in my opinion, no matter who your parents are, no matter what they did, no matter what they didn't do, no matter what their past looks like, no matter what they look like, no matter what they did, no matter who they are, never, ever disrespect your parents. Never, ever. Always have respect for your parents. Always, no matter who they fucking are. Because your parents, they are the ones who gave you life. And just the fact that they gave you life, that's more than enough. They don't owe you anything. The world doesn't owe you anything. Your parents, you must always respect them. Of course, some parents are better than others as parents. That's a fact. And of course, giving life to someone is easy. Anyone can become a dad, but not everyone can be a father. Or is it the opposite? What do they say? Do they say anyone can be a father, but no one can be a dad? But you know what I mean. Anyone can create a child. I can create a child. Anyone can do it. Anyone who has a functioning, healthy body can create a child, can reproduce a child. But not everyone can raise a child and make that and be present in that child's life and show support and show love and be present for that child. Not everyone can do that. That takes a real man to do it. But anyone can reproduce, anyone can create a child. But still, I understand some cases are different than others. Some people had really bad experiences with their parents. I understand. But your parents gave you life, and you have to show them a certain level of respect for your parents. Now, of course, some parents are really fucked up. Like, if I'm being honest, like some dads raped their daughters. Like, those parents, they don't deserve no respect. They deserve zero respect. That's the worst fucking thing you can do to your child. Some parents molested their kids. I don't fucking know how that's even fucking possible. That's probably one of the most disgusting things I ever heard in my life. Parents molesting their own child, or just adults molesting kids. That's the most disgusting thing on planet Earth. They don't deserve respect. I'm sorry. They don't deserve respect. They deserve to literally be put down like a raging dog. They deserve to be put down. I'm sorry. In my opinion, adults who molest little kids and parents who molest kids and / their children, they should be given the death penalty, in my opinion. Now, maybe some people can think that that's too harsh. Fuck them. I don't give a fuck. In my opinion, they should be given the death penalty, and not just simply a nice peaceful death, but getting hanged by the neck, or getting their head chopped off, or getting electrocuted in a chair. A painful death, in my opinion, because those parents, whatever, they're the worst fucking human beings on planet Earth. And the world doesn't owe you anything. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much your parents made you believe that you were special, how much you were different than others, and how much, oh my God, you're perfect, whatever. First of all, no one's perfect. And just like everyone else, you're not special. You're a human being. Get to work. You're going to face failure. You're not special. The world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't owe me anything. If you want something, go get it. And if you want something and you're too lazy to go get it, well, you're not going to fucking get it. Why? Because that's the law of nature. That's how the world works. And that's how life works. You want something, go get it. You're not special. I mean, in God's eyes, we're all special and we can all accomplish a lot. But in order to accomplish a lot, you have to work a lot. And that's the case for everyone. Anyone who ever accomplished something worthwhile and something big, they all put in a lot of work. They all had to face a lot of fears and they all had to sacrifice a lot. So if they had to do it, you're going to have to do it too. Why? Because you're not special. They're not special. Put in the fucking work. Don't be a pussy. It is what it is. Like I said, the world doesn't owe you anything. But no matter who you are, we all have the potential to accomplish great things, to become the best potential, to become the best, the best version of ourselves. We all have that potential to become the best version of ourselves. We all do. But the only way you can become the best version of yourself is by being disciplined, putting it in a lot of fucking work, never giving up, facing failure, learning from it, facing rejection, learning from it, never giving up, and keep moving forward no matter what fucking happens. And facing your fears, how facing your fears levels you up with situational stress. How it works is when you do something you never did, of course you're going to be stressed. When I did my first podcast, I was stressed. Why? We call that situational stress, because my body, the flight or fight instinct that's in my body, wired biologically in my body, they were never in a situation where they had to talk in front of a camera with lights or with someone else. So this situation for them is new. So it makes us stressful because it makes us highly alert, because our body, our nerves, and our mind doesn't know what we're supposed to be facing and what we're going to face in a situation like this one, because we never faced and we were never in a situation like this one, in a specific situation like this one. So that's why the first time you do it, you're going to be stressed. Your blood's going to be pumping faster. Your blood's going to be pumping more. Your heart's going to be pumping faster because you're in a new situation and your body doesn't know how to react because it's the first time your body is reacting to it. So that's situational stress. That's normal. Whenever you try something new, you're going to be stressed out. The first time you had sex, you were stressed out. The first time I had sex, I was stressed out. The first time anyone had sex was stressed out. Why? Because that's situational stress. You don't know what's going to happen. You've never been in that situation before. So your body's on high alert to be cautious in order for you to survive. So having that situational stress is really, really, really important for all human beings, and it's ingrained inside of in all of us. It's biologically wired inside of all of us to keep us alive, because our bodies, they only care about two things: reproducing and surviving. That's the only thing the human body cares about: reproducing and staying alive, surviving. So that's why we have that. So like I said, when I did my first podcast, that was the first time I was in this type of situation. So I was highly stressed. Now I'm not stressed anymore when I do podcasts. Why? Because I did it hundreds of times. Like literally I did it. This is my 122nd episode. So literally 100 times. So my body, my heart isn't pumping faster. My blood isn't running faster. Why? Because my body knows what type of situation we're in. My body's been in this situation 100 of times, so they're not stressed anymore, and they know what's gonna happen, and they know, like, my brain and my body collected enough data and enough information to not be stressed out in these type of situations, because I've been in these type of situations 100 of times. So that's why I'm not gonna be stressed out. But when you face your fears, and then, like it or not, in some way I leveled up as a human being, because now to do podcasts, I'm not stressed anymore. But someone else who never did a podcast, his first podcast, he would be stressed out because he didn't, like, in a way, level up. Same goes for many other topics and for many other aspects in life. When you do something for the first time, you're going to be stressed out. The first time you ask a girl out, you're going to be stressed out. Even though, like, further down the line, like, let's say it's the 50th time you ask a girl out, you're still going to be stressed out, but less than the first time you did it. Why? Because you already did it 50 times. So your body and your mind, in a way, already has some knowledge of what's going to happen and some information regarding what you're doing right now. So it's less stressed because your body and your brain is more competent and more knowledgeable when it comes to that certain situation. Same goes for everything. Okay, so thoughts on people who say, ask and you shall receive. the really famous phrase that many Christians say, God give it and God take it away. Ask and you shall receive. Yes, in my opinion, ask and you shall receive. I agree. But at the same time, you cannot simply ask and then go sit at home, sit in your sofa and do nothing. That's not how it works. In my opinion, how I see it is you ask God for what you want, but then you work at it. You stay perseverant. You stay consistent at it like a fucking crazy maniac. That's how you show God how much you want it. If you ask God for something, whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, whatever it is, God, He wants to give it to you, but you have to show God how badly you want it. And the only way you can show God how badly you want it is through showing your actions, is through doing it day in, day out, and never giving up. That's when God's going to say, okay, He proved it. He proved Himself. He showed me how badly He really wants it. I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it to Him. But if you simply say, God, please give it to me, you just talk and you have no actions, you don't do anything, God's going to say, you didn't prove me. You didn't prove to me how badly you want it. You didn't do anything you had to do. You were lazy. You were impatient. You didn't have no discipline. You're not going to get it. So of course, ask and you shall receive. I agree. But the only way you can show God how badly you want it, and you can show God that you're serious about it, is by putting in the work, never giving up, and being a fucking maniac, being obsessed with accomplishing your dreams and your goals. And God, I feel like many people have like trouble resonating with God, connecting with God, because God doesn't talk to you directly with words. It's not like when you talk to God, it's not like God's going to respond with words, right? In my opinion, God responds with feelings, with situations, and with events. So if you want to know something, if you ask God a question, God, please show me my path, whatever, He's not going to tell you the path with words. That's not how God talks. God, first of all, speaks and works in mysterious ways. But God's going to show you your path. He's going to answer your questions with outside events, with situations, and with feelings. So that's why listening to your gut, listening to your soul, listening to your intuition is the most important thing and the most important skill set a human being can have, in my opinion. Listening to your gut, listening to your intuition is way stronger than listening to your rational mind. No matter how fucking smart you are, no matter how high your IQ is, your gut, your intuition is always going to be right. Never ever is your gut or your intuition going to be wrong. It never fails you, because that's your soul speaking to you. And God speaks to you via your soul, via events, and via situations that happen in life. So you have to learn how to read between the lines and how to not look at things emotionally, look at things rationally with your heart, with your gut, and trust your gut and your instincts and your intuition. That's the most important. Never go against it. And the best way, and now someone can say, okay, Andrei, how the fuck do I listen to my gut? How do I listen to my intuition? How do I listen to my soul? Like, it's not like your soul is going to talk to you, right? No, that's a fact. I agree. But the more you're capable of calming down your ego, as human beings, we all have egos, right? That's normal. We all have egos. The more you can shut your ego down, the more you can shut up your ego, and the more you can have a peaceful mind, a calm mind, the easier it is to listen to your intuition, and the easier it is to listen to your gut. If you let your ego run all over the place and dictate your life, dictate your thoughts, you're never going to hear your intuition. You're never going to be able to listen to your gut and to your soul. You're never going to be able. That's why meditation is really, really helpful to many people, because what meditation does for the most part is it helps you calm down your mind and silence your ego. And once you can calm down your mind and silence your ego, that's when you can connect with your gut, with your intuition, with your soul. And that's when you can fully comprehend it and fully listen to it. The more you respect yourself, the more others are going to respect you. And this is what I mean. The more you respect yourself, the more you're going to be disciplined, and the more you're gonna get out of life. Because the more the more you respect yourself, the more you're gonna want to have more out of life. Because you respect yourself more, so you want more out of life. You understand? I respect myself. I deserve a lot. I deserve to accomplish my dreams. I deserve to have everything I want to have, and I deserve to accomplish everything I want to accomplish. So the more you respect yourself, the more others are going to respect you. The more you respect yourself, the more someone respects himself, the more chances of him being healthy and being in shape, because he's going to respect himself more, respect his body more. So he's going to be disciplined and go to the gym and eat healthier. That's the way I can explain this. The more you respect yourself, the more you're going to want money for yourself, right? The more you're going to want to have big money so you can buy a big house, have comfort, have a nice car, have nice trips, and just have everything you want to have out of life. So the more you respect yourself, the more others are going to respect yourself. The more you respect yourself, the more disciplined you're going to be. The more disciplined you're going to be, the more you're going to accomplish, the more goals you're going to accomplish, and the more dreams you're going to accomplish by respecting yourself most. And the more you become competent, the more you achieve, the higher status you get, and the more competent you become as an individual, the more you're going to get respected by others. The reason why people respect, let's say, Elon Musk more than me in general is because he accomplished way more than I did. That's a fact, right? I'm just taking this example. There's many other examples like this. The reason we respect Cristiano Ronaldo more than a guy who never accomplished anything, who never really did anything with his life, whatever. I'm not saying that Ronaldo is going to be happier and more content and joyful with his life than this guy. Money has nothing to do with it. But when it comes to respect from others, he's going to get more respect because we know that what Ronaldo accomplished is really, really fucking hard to accomplish. And it's literally almost basically impossible to do. So we respect him a lot. But for Ronaldo, in order for Ronaldo to accomplish everything he accomplished, and in order for anyone who ever accomplished anything big, first of all, he had to respect himself. When you respect yourself, you're going to want more out of yourself. You're going to ask for more. You're going to demand for more. You're going to go in search of more, and you're just going to want more out of life. And you wanting more out of life, you're going to understand that, okay, if I want more out of life, more money, more status, more fame, more whatever, I'm going to have to be disciplined. I'm going to have to work hard. And I'm not going to be a bitch, and I'm going to be really consistent because I want more out of life, because I deserve more, because I respect myself. And by you wanting all of this, by you wanting more, you're going to be more competent, which then translates to people respecting you more. Recently, John Cena said that he wants to live his life instead of having children. And I feel like this is a big phenomenon right now with younger people, with Gen Z and just younger people in general. I know personally a lot of my friends who tell me that they don't want to have kids. And me personally, I find that surprising because in my mind, having kids is not a choice. It's a must. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm wired like that. Maybe I grew up like that. But in my mind, it's like having kids is not a choice. It's like, as a human being, it is a must that I have kids. I must have kids. I just have like that feeling. I feel like maybe it's because I'm raised like that. Maybe I'm just wired like that. I don't know. But in my opinion, having kids is a must. Like, I have to have kids. I cannot not have kids. I cannot live a life and not have kids. Like, I cannot live a life and not reproduce and not assure that I have descendants and have people who will carry my last name. Like, I feel like I have to have kids. So that's why I understand why some people, and it's especially white people, who say that they don't want to have kids because they want to live their life. I mean, first of all, in my opinion, having kids is not a burden. In my opinion, having kids is a blessing. It's like the biggest blessing. And I'm not speaking from experience. I don't have kids, but I'm speaking from Luca's experience, my brother, from my parents' experience, and from anyone who has kids. They all tell me that the biggest blessing they had in their life was having kids, is their kids. They all say the same thing. They all say that the biggest blessing is having kids. Even the people who have millions of dollars, billions of dollars, who accomplish the most out of life, they all say that their biggest blessing is having kids. So, and like let's put that to the side. In my opinion, like, I feel like just naturally, like, maybe it's my intuition, maybe it's my gut telling me, but I feel like it's not logical for me to say I don't want to have kids. Like, I understand some people thinking that way, like, although I cannot really understand why, but I guess it's their life, their choice. But in my opinion, I feel like having kids is a must. Like, I don't know, especially, and if I speak from experience, I saw many of my friends who are close to my age, 24, 25, 26, 23 even. Many of them say that they don't want to have kids. And every single time I hear a guy that's around my age, Gen Z, say that he doesn't want to have kids, I'm surprised. I'm like shocked. I'm like I respect that. It's his life, his choice. Like, you do what you want. I cannot force my philosophy upon your life. But then deep down, I'm like, I cannot really understand that mentality. Like, I don't know. Like, I cannot, because in my mind, having kids is a must. That's why, like, I'm always surprised when I hear people close to my age or my age saying that they don't want to have kids. And if we're being honest, especially when it comes from white people are becoming a minority. White people aren't having enough kids. Like, I know before 1920, white people were equivalent to 22% of the world. Now we're only 7% of the world. So if we don't have kids, we're like going to go extinct. But I feel like we're never going to go extinct. Like, I hear many people saying that, but I feel like that's a bit crazy. Saying that white people are going to go extinct, that's a bit fucking crazy in my opinion. But it is a fact that we're having way less kids than before. Like before, maybe because the church had more influence in us, telling us that we have to have kids. And then maybe just before, like, I don't know, maybe we all felt like it was more of a must as a human being to have kids. Than nowadays, I feel like there's many people who are more... Nowadays, I feel like younger people are way more narcissistic and way more egoistic, and they only think about themselves. So they only think about themselves, about doing what they want to do, and not think about wanting to have kids so that they have future generations that are going to carry their name and show pride with their name. I don't know, but in my opinion, like, yes, I want to live my life. I want to accomplish everything I want to accomplish, but having kids, and I personally want to have multiple kids. I want to have like 4 or 5 minimum. Okay, I want to have a lot of kids, like fucking create a little army of Deliches. That's me personally. But I always felt that deep down having kids is a must and not a choice. That's how I felt. And also, like, the Polish president recently, he signed a bill saying that there will be 0% income tax law for parents with 2 children or more. Poland just put more money back in parents' pockets. Poland's president signed a law that gives parents of 2 or more kids a 0% personal income tax. It applies up to about $71,000 a year for a 2-parent household, based on a 140,000 zloty cap per parent. It covers biological, adoptive, and foster parents, as well as legal guardians. And it aims to raise take-home pay while tackling low birth rates. Like I'm saying, in the Western world right now, the Western world is the only part of the world where we have birth rate problems. It can be due to modernism. It can be due to many reasons. But the Western world, which is made up of mostly white countries, they're all majoritarily white countries. We all have problems with having kids with low birth rates. And of course, I mean, we have to tackle that problem. Like I said, getting back to my friends, I heard one of my friends, like when he told me that he doesn't want to have kids, then I asked him the question, but who's going to carry your name? What about future generations? He's like, I don't give a fuck. When I die, who cares what's going to happen? So that's why I feel like that's a bit egoistic. That's a bit individualistic. He has the right to think however he wants to think. But in my mind, I'm like, if I die, I want to have someone carry my name. Like, I want to have, like, when I will die, my child, my son, my daughter, they will continue my life in a way. Like, it's not going to be my life, it's going to be their life. But in a way, they're going to continue my lineage and my biology in a way. So that's why, like, in my opinion, having kids is a must. He then went on to say, if it works, families keep more cash now and the country builds a stronger workforce for later. So what he did, it's basically a win-win situation for both. So win-win situation for the parents. They don't pay fucking taxes if they have 2 or more children. And it's a win-win for the country because it's going to build a stronger workforce for later. And as you guys know, Poland, they're not accepting any more immigrants. They only want Polish people to be in Poland. They have like minimum immigrants. I think it's like the demographics in Poland, it's like 99% Polish and 1% immigrants or something crazy like that. So they want to protect their culture, their identity. So that's why they're forcing their own people to have more kids. Not forcing, but encouraging and motivating with things like not giving them taxes and not making them pay taxes. Okay, let's do a Bible verse. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. plans to give you hope and a future. Like I said, no matter who you are, God has a plan for you to prosper and to accomplish your destiny and your dreams. All human beings, let's round it up to we're 8 billion people on planet Earth. Every single human being on planet Earth, like literally every single human being on planet Earth, has big potential and has a destiny to fulfill. Every single human being, God has a plan for every single human being. No matter who you are, no matter who your parents are, no matter where you come from, no matter what you did in your past, God has plans for you to prosper. God has big plans for you to fulfill your destiny. If you listen to God, if you follow your gut, your intuition, and your soul, you will have a fully fulfilled life. Everything you are seeking is seeking you. I fucking love this. Everything you seek, everything you want out of this world. Many people, like, of course, we all have dreams, right? All human beings, we all have dreams. We all have goals we want to accomplish, and we all have different goals, different dreams, different whatever. We're all different. But whatever you are seeking is seeking you. Paulo Coelho said it in his book, The Alchemist. Everything you are seeking is seeking you. Whatever you want, don't be afraid to go in search of it. Don't be afraid to go after it. The reason it's inside of you, the reason you have that feeling of wanting what you want is because what you want wants you also. Like, did that make sense? Like, I know I said I mixed it up a little bit, but it makes sense. What you want, it wants you. That's why deep down inside of you, what you want, you're attracted to it because that thing also wants you. So don't be afraid to go after what you want. Don't be afraid. And just because you face failure, it doesn't mean that it doesn't want you. It's testing you. What you want, it wants you, but it's going to test you. And it has to test you because what you want, the bigger it is, the more it has to test you. Because the bigger your dreams are, the harder it is to get because the more competent you have to become in order for you to have those big dreams. You have to be, the bigger your dreams are, the more competent you have to be. And the only way you can become more competent is by facing failure, by overcoming challenges, and by never giving up day in, day out. That's the only way you can level up. And the bigger your dreams are, the more you have to level up because the more competent you have to become. And there's this one quote from Winston Churchill I fucking love, man. It's one of the greatest quotes on planet Earth. Winston Churchill, one of the greatest political figures of all time, one of the most accomplished individuals of all time. And he said, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. First of all, success consists of going from failure to failure. Yes, you have to go from failure to failure to failure. Not 10 times, not 20 times, but 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. However times it takes, you have to go from failure to failure. But what's also really important is without loss of enthusiasm. You cannot lose enthusiasm. I know, as let's say me from personal experience from selling cars, sometimes you're going to have 3 clients in the same day. They're going to come to see you and they're going to be the hardest clients. You're going to beat them with 2-3 hours. And at the end of the day, they're not going to buy the car. You're going to lose patience. You're going to lose motivation then after that to keep going. Why? Because you're going to be like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. I always get the worst clients. I cannot fucking get a deal. I cannot get this. If you continue with that mentality, you're going to lose enthusiasm and you're not going to get success later on. But I know it's hard to go from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. That's like the hardest thing. That's why only a few percentage of people on planet Earth accomplish their dreams, because going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm is the greatest strength you can have as a human being, but it's also the hardest strength you can have as a human being. It's really it's easy to talk about it. Yeah, bro, you have to go from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. It's easy, but actually doing it. Yo, how many guys do you know go approach one woman, get rejected, they don't care. They approach another one, get rejected, they don't care. And then they approach another one, until they get a W. Very few people. Why? Because the average human being, when he gets rejected once, he loses all hope and he wants to stop immediately. Why? Because he faces failure. Facing failure and not giving up and keep and moving forward is literally the hardest thing you can do. And that's why, like I said, me personally, I don't think I have a single friend who I ever saw when it comes to approaching women going from failure to failure more than once in a single night to get what they want. If they get one L, so one no by a girl, or a girl ignores them, or a girl doesn't give him his or her Instagram or her phone number, he's going to give up for the rest of the night. 99% of human beings are like that. 99% of human beings. But that's also why 99% of human beings don't accomplish all of their dreams and all of their goals, because they give up after one no, one rejection, or one L. But the people who will accomplish whatever they want to accomplish are going to be the people who are capable of going from failure to failure. Not 2, 3 times, not 4, 5, 6, 7 times, but 1,000 times if they have to, in order to accomplish what they have to accomplish. And they will never lose enthusiasm. Of course, from time to time, you can have a slower day, a more down day, whatever, but you keep going, you don't lose hope, and you don't lose enthusiasm. And that's why I feel like religion plays a really big part, and where religion can really help you, because when you tell yourself that, okay, today I faced 10 failures, nothing worked today, today was the worst day, but deep down I believe in God. I know that God has a big plan for me to prosper. I know that God is testing me right now. He's challenging me. He wants me to become even more resilient and even more competent. He wants me to learn from certain situations so that later down the road, I can become more competent and accomplish everything I want to accomplish. If you're capable of seeing it that way, it's going to be way easier for you to keep going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. That's why I feel like religion plays a big part in my life, me personally, is because of that. Okay, guys, let's finish off with this. It's more like a funny statistic. I just want to talk about it quickly on my podcast. So 74.3% of men enjoy spending time with their friends more than with their girlfriend. I just found this funny. It's 75% of men. So 4 men, no, how is it? 25, 50, 75. 3 men and 4 prefer spending time with their friends than with their girlfriend. I mean, I guess that's normal, because if you're a guy, I mean, you cannot have fun with your girlfriend the same way you can have fun with your friends, because like, you're a guy, your friends are guys, so you're going to connect more because you guys are guys. But I mean, that is still your girlfriend, so you still love her. But when it comes to having fun, going out, whatever, I would, like, let's say if I have the choice between hanging out with my friends to have fun, just go out, drink, be drunk and have fun, just talk shit, I would rather be with the 4 of my closest friends than to be with 4 really hot women. Of course, being with 4 really hot women is really nice, it's beautiful, but it's gonna be boring. They're women, I cannot fuck around, I cannot joke around with them the same way I can with my friends. So of course, I would prefer to hang around with my friends than with my girlfriend, or than just with girls in general, because I'm a guy and I can fuck around more with my guy friends and whatever. You guys, so that was it for this episode. See you next episode. Peace out.